どこに投資するべきなのかっていうのと、何を避けるべきなのか。
I am asking questions. I have sold everything in most of the world. Human beings make mistakes. The more success people have, the more overconfident they become, and that leads to mistakes.
アレックスさん、
はい、
今日はありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
ジム・ロジャースさんの今家に来て撮影これから始まるんですが、この部屋すごいですね。
至る所に金や銀のものがあります。後ろ見ていただくと銀のパイプ。
なるほど。
地球儀もいろんなところにあるんですけど、彼は地球儀を見ながら次投資をする国って決めるんですよ。僕がすごい印象的だったのが、ロシア・ウクライナ戦争が始まる前は次最もエキサイティングな場所はウラジオストク。
カーペットが地図なんですね。
そうなんです。
ウラジオストクどこですか？
ここです。日本の近く。今だとウズベキスタン、カザフスタン、こういったところが面白いと。彼はもう地図の上に立っていろんな国を見るんです。
本当ですか？
本当です。
じゃあよろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
はい、皆さんこんにちは。今回はですね、ジム・ロジャースさんと動画を撮っていきたいと思います。Good morning, Jim Rogers.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Good morning, Mushi Mushi.
いや、もしもし。今ね、2026年の4月現在で中東の問題とかもありますし、世界情勢結構混沌としてますが、何に投資するべきなのかとか、いろんなことをちょっとジムさんと聞いていきたいと思います。これがですね、最新作のジム・ロジャースの書籍になりますんで、2026年1月末に販売されてます。Amazon で買えますんで、概要欄からチェックしてください。じゃあ早速質問させてもらいたいなと思ってます。最初に皆さんが多分一番聞きたいのは、今その中東の問題、イラン、イスラエル、そしてアメリカの戦争まで行ってないと思うんですけど、問題がある中でどこに投資するべきなのかっていうのと、何を避けるべきなのか、これ投資という観点です。ちょっとジム・ロジャースさん教えてほしいです。
Well, everybody's very happy right now. Everybody's having a good time. Throughout history, that has been a time to ask questions. So I am worried. I am asking questions. I have sold everything in most of the world because I know that when everything is great, it's usually time to start worrying. I may be early. I usually am early. But I'm worried. I do own US dollars at the moment. Now, the US dollar is got great problems, huge problems. But most people in the world think the US dollar is a safe haven. It's not, but people think it is. So I have a lot of US dollars, but very worried.
日本円に関してはどう思われます？ What do you think of as Japan yen?
Japan is one of the largest debtor nations in the history of the world now, and the debt is getting higher every day. So Japan has debt higher and higher every day, population declining every day. So the facts are that Japan is going to have problems. I love Japan. Oh my God, I love Japan. But I have to face facts. The debt is going higher, the population is going down. That usually means that a country is going to have problems. So I worry about Japan. But my God, I love Japan. I don't like to see it.
30年ぐらい日本は沈んだとか言われてるじゃないですか。ネガティブに言われてる。けれども実際本当にそうなのかなと。要は世界中を見渡せば戦争が起きてたりするじゃないですか。ちょっと僕はそこ懐疑的なんですけど、ジム・ロジャーさんそこはどうお考えですか？
Well, he said it very well. Yes, everything is great in Japan right now. Everybody's happy. Maybe this will go on forever till I die. But it cannot. If you can add, if you can subtract, you know there's going to be a problem someday. Maybe not for a long time. But if you can add and subtract, you know there's going to be a problem. I repeat, I love Japan, but I can add and I can subtract. Maybe you know the answer, but I don't.
どうすればいいですか、日本人は。
I mean, history is very simple. When a country has rising debt and declining population, eventually there are problems. And historically, the way you protect yourself in a situation like that is you have assets in other countries, other assets. That's the only thing I know. I mean, I love Japan. Yes, you can keep all of your assets in Japan if you know what you're doing, if you're nimble and can be careful with your assets. But Alex, this is a simple addition, simple subtraction.
ジム・ロジャースのお子様にどういうことを今伝えているのかをちょっと教えてほしくて、学習とか教育とか。
Well, I have never been a parent before, so I don't know. You can ask me in 30 years if I did it right. But the only thing for me was very important that my daughters knew other languages, especially Chinese, in their lifetime, and that they know Asia, because in their lifetime, Asia is going to be extremely important. It already is. It's going to be more. Will that make them successful? Who knows? But I do know that Asia is on the rise and that most of the West has declining population and rising debt. So history says that that leads to problems. Just read your history. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I know history is pretty simple. I have never been a parent before, so I do not know if I know what I'm doing. But I do think it's extremely important that children knew another language so they can communicate with other people and learn different views. But I think it's also important that they know about money, that they know money is not free. It doesn't fall out of the sky. They have to learn to earn money and to save money. From the very, very beginning, I made them, if they got money, I made them put it in a piggy bank. And when they got money, I made them put the money in the savings bank. They didn't know why, but I wanted them to think that money is to be saved, not to be spent. I wanted them to think that money is to be saved, money is not to be spent.
日本も同じかもしれないからジム・ロジャース流のもっとスペシャルなものが欲しいな。
Well, I told them that they should get jobs. I don't know, 2, 3, whatever. I don't know. My main point was that you have to learn to work. So get a job. You have to have a job. They got jobs teaching Chinese, which I thought was very clever, because they could get more money and they would teach them as well. So the main point for me was that they should have jobs early so that they learn the discipline and that they had to do things right.
それは労働じゃないですか。日本でもアルバイトとかあると思うんですけど、そうじゃなくて投資だったりとか金融資産を要は労働以外で稼ぐような教育っていうのはいつ頃からされてたんですか？
I have not tried to impose that on them. One thing I've learned in life is that if people are interested and they pursue it, they learn more, better, and faster. So I have still waited for them. I hope they come to me someday and tell us and say to me, please teach us about money, about investing, and how to do it. Not yet. I mean, yeah, no, they listen. They do. I do notice that they pay attention, that they seem to care, but they're still, you know, like many people in the world, they think they know what they're doing.
次 NEXT AI について AI いろんなものをこう産業をアップデートしてるじゃないですか。その中で投資をしないもしくは AI が出てきたことにこの領域にも投資をするみたいなそういう考えはなんかジムの中であるのかをちょっと聞いてほしい。
I have to know about AI. I am not technical, but I have to know something. I mean, throughout history, there have been periods when new things have come along and you had to know. You know, electricity came along and changed the world. But many things like that have happened. So you have to at least know something. The more you know, the better. I'm not technical enough to understand it like you probably or other people, but I know it's extremely important. Doesn't matter whether it was the electricity or the telephone or automobiles. Everything that has come along has been important, and one has to know. One has to at least know something, or one will miss a lot. I wish I were more technical, because then I could probably do a better job. Everybody should. I wish it were easy. I wish it were easy. Oh my gosh.
次の質問、投資という観点でその、いわば戦争銘柄ってあるじゃないですか。そこっていうのは今後も上がり続けるって理解していいのかどうか。
Many people can buy shares. It's even harder to sell the shares at the right time. I wish this were easy. I wish this were all very easy. It's never been easy for me.
ラストクエスチョンで次のリーマンショックはいつ頃どういうふうに来るのかをジムさんなりの予測をちょっと教えてほしくて、特にプライベートクレジットが危ないって言われてるじゃないですか。その辺も踏まえてちょっとジムさんなりの見解を教えてほしいです。
We've been having credit for centuries. We will continue to. But the problem is, the more people do things well, the more arrogant they get. The more success people have, the more overconfident they become. And that leads to mistakes. It's us. We are the problem. I wish we had an easy answer. Then that will make it even worse. Because then we will think AI knows what it's doing, and AI is programmed by other human beings, whether we know it or not. Alex, I wish there were an easy answer.
But a financial crisis is coming.
It doesn't matter when or where, you can always say that, because there is always a financial crisis coming somewhere, someday. I wish I knew. Wouldn't it be wonderful? The problem is, the better things are, the more people think they don't have to worry. And when nobody's worrying, it's a time to be very worried. I don't know, but I do know that right now, 2026, whatever this is, most people are very confident. When people say, it's different this time, be very worried.
これもちょっと聞きたいのが質問があって、お金で人間は幸せになるのか。
I have been poor and I have been with the unpoor at times. I know it's better than being not poor is better, but in the end, that too can lead to mistakes. And the problem is we all make mistakes, and it's the mistakes that lead to problems. I wish we were able to avoid mistakes, but I mean, read history. It's very simple. It doesn't matter who or where or what, people start making mistakes. They don't know they're making mistakes. They think they're not making mistakes. Therein lies the problem. Japan has been there for hundreds of years, thousands of years. But there have been times when even the Japanese have made mistakes, and they have suffered. But that happens to everybody, always. Well, yeah, but can you do it? Do you know anyone who can? There are always a few people who for a while do it successfully, but in the end, everybody makes more mistakes, and we all have to pay for it. I wish there were an answer. I do not know the answer.
ジム・ロジャーズさん第2回目の動画でございました。Thank you for today, and I appreciate your time. ありがとうございました。チース。概要欄これぜひ皆さんチェックしてください。
Thank you.
今すぐ会社を売却する予定がなくても、ぜひサロンに入って M&A そして IPO を勉強しませんか？将来必ず役に立つと思います。ぜひ M&A バンクサロンでお会いしましょう。